Did you know if you drop a like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds, nothing will happen but it will put a giant smile on my face? Believe it or not, today you've read the title completely right. I didn't think I'd ever have to say this, but it looks like Fortnite Chapter 3 may be cancelled in a way you wouldn't expect. With the release of the final update for not only Chapter 2 Season 8 being 18.40, bringing along the Naruto collaboration that literally has more hype than the start of this chapter in itself, and with us not knowing whether we're going immediately into Chapter 3 after this season ends or a mid-season-like state, I figured you guys need to know about this cancellation of Chapter 3 right now. Of course, too, on top of that, we've got a ton of Chapter 3 details and everything to do with what's upcoming for the future of Season 8 before this actually happens, so of course, do yourself and me a favour by sticking around to watch the full thing to get all of this intel because it's very important. And another favour that you guys can do for me right now, considering Naruto is in the item shop when you're probably most likely watching anyways, slap code FM1 in there, perhaps one of the shortest and easiest codes to enter. I challenge literally everybody watching this video right now to enter it and see how fast they can do so. Doing so would not only put a giant smile on my face like I mentioned for liking and subscribing at the start of the video, but speaking of that, you know what else would make me happy and my pug Gus, considering he has been kinda sad lately from discovering that 70% of you aren't subscribed, that would be then if you subscribe with all notifications turned on. And don't forget too, this actually does benefit you unlike entering a creator code, as I do give 5 subscribers every single day. So of course, if you want to receive a gift, potentially Naruto, make sure you're subscribing to the channel with all notifications turned on and then comment your Epic Games ID down below. So perhaps with the release of Naruto in the next video, you could be gifted the entire bundle in front of hundreds of thousands of eyes to see. And with all that jibber jabber out the way, we need to dive into everything Chapter 3, why it's cancelled for a big population of the world, believe it or not. But first, before we go any further in the video, since the competitive scene of Fortnite perhaps is one of the biggest communities within it, I have to tell you about Z-League, who are kindly sponsoring today's video. Whether you're new to the competitive Fortnite scene or have been entering tournaments since the game's launch, Z-League is the platform for you. For those that don't know, Z-League is the world's first skill-based Fortnite tournament platform that enables gamers to compete in free-to-play cash prize tournaments against opponents of similar skill levels. Unlike most sweaty public games, this provides every player with the best competitive chance for everyone, and to ensure this, they've built their own custom ranking algorithm that analyzes all of your Fortnite stats to place you into true skill-based divisions. Many of you may be thinking, how do they deal with cheaters, considering it sounds too good to be true already? Well, believe it or not, they've created their own custom in-house anti-cheat system to catch and ban cheaters who do things like hack, smurf, or reverse boost. And of course, by doing this and entering tournaments, you'll only be then paired up against players of actual similar skill level to you. Literally everybody watching this video right now can take part and try Z-League out, as it works on any platform that you play Fortnite on, and they run their weekend of tournaments every weekend to give you chances to win cash prizes for free. Even if you don't want to compete just yet and perhaps just want to see who's the best out of your particular private friendship group, well, you're in luck, as they've recently just introduced what they call challenges, which allows us to compete against our friends instead of signing up to compete against strangers in a tournament. And better yet, we get to design these challenges to our own taste, so you can set what the objective is, like most amount of kills to compete on, and then set the game time to whatever you like. Within these, you can invite up to 10 friends or players to the challenge, with everyone racing to hit the goal before the time expires on the challenge in mention. So whether or not you want to compete in a tournament against other people of similar skill level, or simply do the challenges with your friends, make sure to click the first link in the video description down below now, or in the pinned comment, and try out Z-League today. Okay, so diving into the Chapter 3 based stuff before we go over why it's potentially cancelled for a lot of people, and this could even affect some of you watching today's video. We need to go over some information regarding what's actually upcoming in terms of it launching, or whether we go into Chapter 3 initially at the end of Season 8 as previously mentioned at the start of the video. There's been so much information obviously spread around that actually contradicts each other from different sources and stuff like that, so I figured we'd clear everything up today. And where we start on doing so is noting on the Battle Pass, this date isn't changing in terms of the end of Chapter 2 Season 8, meaning, of course, this is going to be coming around on December 5th, 2021, and depending on whether we go into a black hole-like state from the live event occurring with the Cube Queen and many other factors maybe at the end of Chapter 2 Season 8 on the final day, this could either result in whatever's next for Fortnite starting up on December 6th, considering I'm guessing there's going to be at least a 12-hour downtime, or they could go with the traditional black hole downtime being a total of 48 hours, meaning then either Chapter 3 or this in-between of season-like state that Donald Mustard and others have teased, which we're going to be breaking down in just a second, could actually start on December 7th, 2021, being like a whole day and a half later from what we've initially anticipated. Literally, Epic Games have been up to so much as of lately, not only introducing so many collaborations even this season, like literally the amount of skins that they've introduced themselves or made is the same according to data miners as the collaboration skins that they've actually managed to negotiate with the brands or the companies themselves to then time put into the game of Fortnite. And of course, with so many hints pointing toward the end of this season being the end of Chapter 2 in itself, with all of Chapter 2's secrets kind of, like, you know, out there now, such as the redacted bunker being opened after 2 years since it was initially implemented as a map change right here at the start of Chapter 2 after the initial black hole expanding. With this Season 8 leak list of information, with everything coming true on here now that we know about despite the rideable monsters or mechs returning, and of course the Chapter 3 stuff in itself which we're yet to find to be coming true, and with no mention of Chapter 2 Season 9 or Chapter 2 Season X on here, and even furthermore with it linking the secret skin of Chapter 2 Season 8 right here directly into Chapter 3, saying it's going to be a big part or involved in the storyline of that developing. Without a shadow of a doubt, yes, Chapter 3 is what's next for Fortnite, but how are we going to be getting there, and how aren't some people going to be getting there considering it's going to be cancelled? In terms of tackling those two subjects, we're going to initially go over how we're going to be getting there, or most players are anyways, before we discover who it's going to be cancelled for and why. In case you've been living under a rock as of lately, if you haven't been following people on Twitter or YouTube making videos on these specific tweets from people who work high up at Epic Games such as Donald Mustard, he's not only been teasing through his banner on Twitter and his Twitter bio location that we are going to be entering a state called Reality Zero, which is out of seasons and out of chapter from the normal traditional kind of progressive format of Fortnite Battle Royale anyways. And despite us not knowing much about Reality Zero, however, with us guessing it's like the in-between state or out of seasons or out of space and time of the traditional flow of Fortnite in itself, this is the first look we have of it in a larger form, and as you can see from me putting the full image on screen with it like panning over to every section of it, you can clearly see Agent John Jones again here in his office suit, of which we initially spotted him in at the end of the Galactus event when he woke up in the office or the IO base, and also the Chapter 2 Season 5 trailer when he was on the phone to Dr. Slone. Of course, a lot's happened since this Chapter 2 Season 5 trailer or storyline kind of forefront when this was the main thing going on or the most present thing, with Agent John Jones not only going rogue, disobeying Dr. Slone, and now he's actually teamed up with the Foundation that we've been revealed to being the leader of the Seven, whom we know is very powerful from containing the Zero Point in one of its most destabilized states. And with everything getting complex now with the introduction of the Cube Queen, literally not only is the secret skin revealed, and with all the cubes that we knew of at the start of this season being, well, crashing down from the mothership after it exploded or blew up, it may be hard for a lot of you to understand that this Chapter 2 Season 5 trailer in itself actually tells us a lot about the next state of Fortnite out of Chapter 2 once it ends than we initially anticipated. As you can see right here, from clicking all these buttons and from Agent John Jones having to go back inside the loop on one of the Fortnite islands, initially we just expected this was the normal Fortnite island and this location of this office was somewhere completely different out of it, or at the very least outside the loop. However, now from other things pouring out, such as this thing called the flip side, which YouTubers like Cypher PK and Tabor Hill have been teasing, this very much makes sense of this format or kind of like scenery they went with in the Chapter 2 Season 5 trailer, from going down and then the trailer turning this landscape upside down almost as if we've been put onto a flip side of Fortnite in itself after the Galactus event when he sucked in the Zero Point, harnessed its energy, and then we did go into a mini black hole downtime like state. If this is correct and we've been on a flip side of Fortnite since the start of Chapter 2 Season 5 without even knowing it, and just considering everything that changed between these two seasons, Season 4 and Season 5 of Chapter 2 to just be simply map change transitions, could this mean then that the reality that Galactus appeared on, being this Fortnite island, is completely different to the Chapter 2 Season 5 island or reality in itself, and because of that, with us not knowing what happened after this reality got sucked into a black hole from the magnitude of the Galactus event occurring, and with him doing everything with the Zero Point and us having to defeat him or stop him, does this mean that we don't know what this reality looks like after a potential black hole-like state of it expands, and is that what we're going to be going into, or an in-between-like state of where Agent John Jones was in this office, being Reality Zero before the release of Chapter 3 in itself, which again we don't know how long it's going to be going on for, if it is in between the ending of Chapter 2 Season 8, of which is happening on December 5th, 2021, and Chapter 3 in itself, despite us not knowing in terms of length of days, weeks, or even months of us being in this in-between Reality Zero state before Chapter 3 starts, or if it directly goes into Chapter 3 straight away. However, we do know that the next two updates, considering 18.40 or this Naruto update is the final one of Chapter 2 Season 8, and with data miners being able to look on the testing and staging servers early, we can see that 19.00 being Season 19 of Fortnite, or the 19th seasonal build, or whatever's next, whatever they're going to be calling it, this is only two updates long, considering it goes on to 19.00 after 18.40, and then 19.01, which is a very weird update name or coding in the files. So why is this update called 19.01 instead of 19.10? From following the story in Chapter 2 so far, we definitely know there's going to be a conflict between the Foundation and Agent John Jones teaming up with Dr. Slone, who's now finally reached and opened the location of which she's resided in until the end of the season or so, we think being the redacted bunker, and the newly introduced Cube Queen from another reality in itself, of which too, speaking of reality, she's promised to destroy this one or let nothing remain, meaning the magnitude of this event with all three sides opposing each other is going to be mass destructive, or like literally going to completely destroy the island. It wouldn't surprise me literally in the following week if we're hearing about the live event of which is going to be occurring to end off this season, so Epic Games can hype it up, have everybody aware not only in-game but coming back to the game who stopped playing to actually make sense of this transition that they're going to be making at the end of this season into the next state of Fortnite. Despite no timer being above the Cube Queen in herself already, which I'm guessing there is going to be, considering yes, above every live event place of which we need to go to, it states this timer like 10 or 14 days before it happens. And yeah, despite this not happening or being in-game at the time of me recording this video, believe it or not, in itself, the Convergence or Cube Town area is a live event development that is growing, so it seems ever so more slowly, charging the Cube Queen, who is making it further up in the sky in the spherical chamber from what she is appearing to be doing anyways, like the Ice King in the Ice Storm event where he was charging holding cube shards. So maybe this means, with the similarities being made here, that she's going to break out of this, raise a giant version of herself on the outskirts of the island and then sweep it in a reality-like state of which she came from, being like the sideways or the inside of these bubbles. All of these are just theories up until now on how this actual chapter will end, or the ending of Season 8 in itself, whatever you want to call it. But now with all those details mentioned about Chapter 3, what it's going to be based around, or things we need to know regarding it, or the next state of Fortnite, we need to move on to why it may be cancelled for a lot of people, maybe even watching this video today. For those that don't know, this is entirely to do with Fortnite China and the fact that Epic Games have actually discontinued its servers being updated alongside the normal version of Fortnite. And the reason I say the normal version of Fortnite and comparing this to it is because they're actually kind of technically two separate games. A lot of you may know about Fortnite China from these rare cosmetics or back blings that literally nobody has in the normal version of Fortnite, or very few people, like literally less than 1%. And these were something that everybody was going on about way back in Chapter 1, like Chapter 1 Season 3. And with the news hitting us as of recently that Fortnite China will be shutting its servers off, so meaning it's going to be gone forever, and with this actually taking place as of last night when I'm recording this video, meaning the Fortnite China servers now have officially shut down for good, this is leaving a lot of players wondering, are they just going to be releasing Fortnite in China in itself, meaning that Chapter 3 isn't cancelled for this population of the world? Or are they just going to completely cancel Fortnite, and that meaning then Chapter 3 is cancelled in China for the Fortnite player base over there, or people who use Fortnite China? And even furthermore questions are going around the community, such as, will they be giving us these free rare cosmetics of which were exclusive to Fortnite China to the rest of Fortnite's population across the globe, despite this just one specific region? To answer those questions, first of all, in terms of Fortnite China being shut off and them not having a version of Fortnite to play now, I definitely do think that they're just going to transition normal Fortnite to, well, this area of the world, considering Epic Games make big moves and they do them rather slowly or smoothly to make sense of everything, so yeah, this definitely would be a move that makes sense in my opinion. But speaking of the cosmetics that were exclusive to Fortnite China, I do not believe that they will be releasing these for any particular reason to other regional players of Fortnite Battle Royale across the globe. Of course though, when we do hear more information on that subject, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'll be keeping you guys in the loop, no pun intended, as soon as anything happens. Turn on all notifications too so that you can see that video pop up on your phone as a notification as soon as it's uploaded, and make sure to leave a like in this video if you want to keep referring back to it, or soak in any additional or extra information that you didn't soak in just the first watch. But speaking of other videos, make sure to click anything on screen right now, literally interact with any of the 3 interactable buttons, I don't mind, but most importantly, hopefully I can catch you, yes, you the individual still watching right now, but hopefully in the very next video I do post on the channel.